What's up, Wrestle Scope family? Before we dive into this absolute travesty that went down at Saturday night's main event, let me ask you something. When was the last time WWE actually let their champion look strong in a match? I'll wait. Because what happened between Cody Rhodes and Oba Femi wasn't just a match, it was a setup. And if you're not absolutely furious about how this played out, then you haven't been paying attention to what WWE is doing to their so-called American nightmare. Hit that like button if you're tired of WWE's booking, and stick around because this breakdown is going to expose everything wrong with how they're treating their Undisputed Champion. Let's rewind to Saturday night's main event, the rebirth of one of wrestling's most iconic shows. NBC, primetime television, millions of eyes watching. This was supposed to be WWE's moment to showcase why they're the premier wrestling company in the world. And who do they put in the opening match? The undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes against one of NXT's most dominant forces, Oba Femi. Now, on paper, this match made sense. Oba Femi has been an absolute monster down in NXT. The man held the North American Championship for over 300 days. He's destroyed everyone put in front of him. This was his moment, his shot at the big stage against the biggest name in the company. This should have been Cody's chance to show the main roster audience why he is the face of WWE, why he ended Roman's historic reign, why he is the standard bearer for this new era. But here's where things get interesting. And by interesting, I mean absolutely infuriating. From the opening bell, this match was intense. Oba Femi came out like a man possessed, and rightfully so. This wasn't just another match for him, this was his audition for the main roster spotlight. And let me tell you something, Oba Femi delivered. The power, the athleticism, the sheer presence this man brought to that ring made it clear why Triple H and Shawn Michaels have been so high on him. But Cody was showing us exactly why he's the champion. Every counter, every reversal, every moment of that match proved that Cody Rhodes isn't just a champion by storyline. He's a champion because he can go with anybody. The chemistry between these two was electric. You could feel the energy through the screen. Oba hit Cody with power moves that would have finished lesser competitors. That pop-up powerbomb, devastating. The way he was ragdolling the Undisputed Champion around that ring was making everyone sit up and take notice. This wasn't a veteran giving a young star a rub. This was a fight. This was Oba Femi announcing to the world that he belongs on this level. And Cody? He was fighting back with everything in his arsenal. The disaster kicks, the Cody cutters, the signature strikes that have defined his championship reign. You could see him digging deep, pulling out everything he had to put this young lion away. The near falls had the crowd on their feet. This was the kind of match that makes careers. This was the kind of performance that elevates both competitors. We were building to what should have been an absolutely legendary moment. Cody was setting up for the Crossroads, the move that's put away everyone from AJ Styles to Roman Reigns. The crowd was at a fever pitch. Oba was staggering. This was it. And then, Drew McIntyre. The Scottish warrior, the man who's been circling Cody Rhodes like a shark smelling blood in the water, decided that this was his moment to strike. Not during a regular episode of Raw, not during a contract signing, but during what should have been a showcase match for WWE's top champion on one of their biggest shows of the year. Drew McIntyre slid into that ring and hit Cody with a Claymore kick that could have decapitated him. The referee had no choice but to call for the disqualification. Oba Femi wins by DQ. Cody Rhodes retains his championship, and the entire wrestling world is left asking one question. What was the point? Here's where I need you to understand something, and this is where WWE's booking philosophy is going to make your blood boil. They had an opportunity here, a golden, once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to make two stars look absolutely incredible. They could have had Cody overcome the odds and defeat Oba Femi clean in the middle of that ring, establishing himself as a fighting champion who can beat the next generation. Or they could have had Oba push Cody to the absolute limit, taking him to time limit draw or losing by the slimmest of margins, making Oba look like a main event star awaiting. But instead, they chose chaos. They chose to protect nobody. Cody doesn't get his moment of triumph. Oba doesn't get his moment of proving he belongs. And Drew McIntyre, he looks like every other cowardly heel who can't wait for their scheduled match. Now let me pull back the curtain here because this is part of a pattern that WWE has been following with Cody Rhodes since he won that championship. How many times has Cody successfully defended his title with a clean, decisive victory over a top-tier competitor? I'll tell you, not enough. Every single major defense has been marred by interference, shenanigans, or booking decisions that make Cody look lucky instead of dominant. This is the same mistake they made with babyface champions for years. They're so afraid of making their champion look too strong that they book them into these situations where they retain, but they don't really win.
In the Oba Femi situation, that's even worse. This young man worked his tail off in that match. He showed the world that he's ready for the main roster spotlight. He proved that he can hang with the absolute best WWE has to offer. And instead of coming out of this match as a made man, someone who took the champion to the limit, he's now associated with a DQ finish that nobody will remember in 6 months. Drew McIntyre's interference makes sense from a storyline perspective, sure. He's been targeting Cody, he wants that championship, and he's willing to do whatever it takes. But here's the thing, couldn't this attack have happened after a conclusive finish? Couldn't Drew have waited 5 more minutes, let these two incredible athletes finish their story, and then make his statement? The answer is yes, but WWE made a creative decision that prioritized short-term shock value over long-term storytelling, and that's what should make every single one of you angry. So where do we go from here? Well, obviously this sets up Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes, likely at the Royal Rumble or even before. And don't get me wrong, that match has potential to be absolutely phenomenal. Drew is one of the best workers in the entire company, and his chemistry with Cody is undeniable. But what about Oba Femi? Does he just go back to NXT with a loss on his record, even if it's a DQ loss? Does he get a rematch? Does this lead to a program where Oba is now inserted into the championship picture because technically he never got pinned or submitted? And more importantly, when is WWE going to let Cody Rhodes just be the champion without all the smoke and mirrors? When does he get to stand tall in the middle of the ring, hand raised, having definitively defeated a worthy challenger? Because right now his reign feels less like the culmination of his journey and more like WWE is just treading water until they decide who the next champion should be. The Saturday night's main event platform deserved better. Cody Rhodes deserved better. Obi deserved better. And most importantly, you, the fans who stayed up or tuned in to watch, deserved better than a DQ finish in what should have been a star-making match for everyone involved. Listen, I know I've been fired up during this entire breakdown, but it's because I care about this product. I care about these wrestlers who pour their hearts out every single night. And I care about you, the fans who invest your time, money, and emotion into this company. So here's what I need from you right now. If you're as frustrated as I am about how WWE is booking Cody Rhodes, smash that like button. If you think Oba Femi deserves another shot without the interference, drop a comment below telling me how you would book this feud going forward. And if you want to stay updated on all the latest WWE news, breakdowns, and hot takes that nobody else is willing to give you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because here at Wrestle Scope, we don't just recap the matches, we analyze the business, the psychology, and the decisions that shape this industry. We're not here to be WWE cheerleaders, we're here to give you the truth about what's happening in that ring and behind the curtain. Share this video with every wrestling fan you know who's tired of DQ finishes. Tag WWE in the comments, tag Cody Rhodes, tag Drew McIntyre. Let them know that we're paying attention and we demand better storytelling. The conversation doesn't end here, it starts in the comment section. I'll be down there reading every single one of your thoughts, debating with you, and maybe even featuring some of your comments in future videos. Until next time, this has been Wrestle Scope, and remember, we're not just watching wrestling, we're analyzing it through the scope. Peace.